meet Gertie. Here she is. She's a goat. I've brought some of your favourite food. Now, it's here somewhere. Gertie loves this. It's a turnip. Gertie! Gertie? No! Don't eat the garden, Gertie. Come on. Goats will eat almost anything if you let them. Come on. Just over here. That's right. Whoa. There's a good girl. And here you are, a lovely turnip. Listen. It's the house. There must be a story to tell.
Step inside all those who love stories. Look and listen. We've tales to tell of fun, excitement, magic, adventure, tears, fears and laughter. Surprises as well. Step inside.
Hello?
Mr. Mopple, come in, come in!
Bong!
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bong.
That's okay, Chloe. You can chime whenever you want to. It's quite a nice sound.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Mr. Mopple, we saw you outside with Gertie the goat, and it reminded Boris of a story.
Did it, Boris? Which one is it then?
Oh, well, it's here somewhere, Mr. Mopple. It'll just take me a moment to find it. Oh, yes, I found it. Now, stand back, Mr. Mopple.
Thank you, Boris.
We're going to have a story.
It's called The Great Goat Chase. Mr. Farmer had a field, and in the field he grew rows of large, round, plump turnips. Now, Mr. Farmer had 3 goats, which he milked every morning. But one day, Mr. Farmer left the gate open, and the goats slipped into the turnip field. Straight away, they began to chomp the turnips. Mr. Farmer saw the goats gobbling up his turnips. "Oh, no!" he wailed, running out of the door. Mr. Farmer tried to chase the goats out of the field, but one ran this way, one ran that way, and one ran another. Could Mr. Farmer get those goats out of the turnip field? No, he couldn't. "I know," said Mr. Farmer. "I'll get Dog." He gave a loud whistle, and Dog came running. He rushed into the field and tried to herd the goats. One went this way, one went that way, and the third went another, round and round, until Dog was exhausted. Could Dog get those goats out of the turnip field? No, he couldn't. Horse stuck his head over the fence. "I'll soon have them out of the turnip field," he said. Horse jumped the fence and raced up the field. Now, Horse was bigger and faster than the goats, but one turned this way, one turned that way, and the third turned another. Could Horse get those goats out of the turnip field? No, he couldn't. Cow said, "Let me show you how it's done. My big horns will soon send them on their way." And so they did. One goat went this way, one goat went that way, and the third went another. Could Cow get those goats out of the turnip field? No, she couldn't. Now Pig decided to show them how it was done. He dropped his head and charged with all his might. Could Pig frighten those goats out of the turnip field? No, he couldn't. Just then, little Busy Bee came buzzing by. "I'll get those goats out of the turnip field," she said. "You?" they exclaimed. "You, a teeny weeny, tiny whiny, totty watty, wee bee?" "Yes, me," she said. Mr. Farmer, Dog, Horse, Cow and Pig began laughing and laughing.
Why were they laughing?
Well, they thought it was funny that the little bee should think she could do something that they couldn't do.
Because she was so small?
Yes.
Oh.
Little Busy Bee buzzed round and round the goats' heads, and then she said, "If you don't leave this field right now, I'll sting your bottoms." Could little Busy Bee get those goats out of the turnip field? Yes, she could. They were off, out of the gate, up the road and onto the hillside. Mr. Farmer, Dog, Horse, Cow and Pig felt very silly. "Sorry, little Busy Bee," they said humbly. And they all agreed that sometimes little folk can do things much better than big folk.
Time to go. Time to go.
Now take care of the book, Boris.
Oh, yes, Mr. Mopple. I look after all the books.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Mr. Mopple. Thank you for reading the story.
Goodbye, Mr. Mopple.
Did you enjoy the turnip I gave you, Gertie? Oh, yes. She's eaten it all. Well, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.